I thought, interestingly, Representative Auchincloss out of Massachusetts put a poll out there a couple weeks ago, and basically he said, is it going to be legislation that fixes this? Is it going to be competition, or is it going to be litigation? Like, what were the three paths that are going to make the PBM industry better? I think we spend a lot of time in Washington, D.C. I think I've been in Washington, D.C. 60 times over the last 2 years, educating federal policymakers on the PBM industry, to include HHS, Department of Labor, others. And, those conversations, I think, continue to move in a good direction to where people really understand what's happening in the system differently and better. But I think because of this vertical and horizontal integration we talk about, and these companies are so big and complex, it's going to be really hard to legislate our way out of it without having kind of that law of unintended consequences, right? Like, if you say this one thing, well, they do these other three things that legally make sure they don't have to do this thing that we intend for them to do different and better. I hate to say it too, that competition is really hard in this industry because there's this common misnomer that the biggest guys get the best deals. And therefore we should stay with the biggest guys. And I think in general, the biggest guys do get the best deals, but then they don't pass that deal along to their client. They use that deal to pad their own pockets and increase their profits, not actually to drive down costs for their clients. And again, their SEC filings show that over and over again with the tens of billions in profits that they're making on an annual basis. So as much as we hate it, I do think that Consolidated Appropriations Act, with Johnson & Johnson now and Wells Fargo already getting sued, I never want litigation to be the reason why we make positive changes, because it's just hard to think like somebody should get sued for us to do better. But unfortunately, I think looking at the path that the PBM industry is on, that might be the impetus that drives the most change, and having employers make a different decision. Because again, it's not just Wells Fargo and J&J getting sued. The benefit leaders associated with that are individually named in both of those lawsuits when they came to court too. So I think it'll get a lot of people's attention, and that might be why we start seeing some changes.